Have you ever wrestled with a goal and wondered, is it time to embrace that concept of grit and perseverance that Carol Dweck researches and talks about? Or is it time to be more discerning and look at that behavioral economics concept of sunken cost fallacy? Just because I've invested so much time, energy, and effort into this goal doesn't mean I should continue to do so, because it isn't going to produce the outcome that I desire. I think from time to time we all find ourselves in the midst of that dual choice. Do we persist or do we give up on the goal? And I recently found myself in that situation in terms of my powerlifting training. In 2018, 2019, I started training and competing in powerlifting. And for the past couple of years, I've had several challenges that kept me from making the progress that I thought I should be making or that I wanted to make. And of course, I thought my progress ideals were quite realistic. And yet sometimes it felt like I was regressing. And I had to come to terms with that idea that maybe it might be time to pursue a different type of training. I can still engage in lifting weights, and I can still, work towards having independence in my longevity and having good health and energy, vitality, all of those things, but it could be through different avenues. And during that time that I was wrestling with what to do, I kept thinking about the story of 3 feet from gold. You probably have heard this mythical tale. It is about a prospector during the California rush who set out to find gold, and he had a lot of tenacity and hope in being able to find gold. And at one point, he decided that it was just too much. He wasn't getting any momentum on his goal and decided to just abandon the effort altogether. So he gave up claim to the land and also sold his equipment. And the person that bought his equipment and continued that gold digging endeavor began to excavate in the exact spot that the prospector had left off. And within 3 feet, he struck gold. And so the moral of that story is that sometimes we might give up on our goal too soon. And in reality, gold is just on the other side of that if we were to hang on just a little bit more. And so I kept thinking about that during that time that I was wrestling with what to do. And the way that I discerned through that was by asking myself some questions. And one of them was, what is your ultimate goal? And so my ultimate goal is to be able to maintain my strength, or ideally become stronger. And for the purpose of what? For the purpose of being able to have more vitality and being able to do what I want to do for a longer period of time, to have independence in my older age, etc. And strength gives you an opportunity for all of those things. I also thought, what is the cost of continuing to engage in this type of training if I'm not making the progress that I want to make? And I realized that the gift in the training far outweighed the cost of the training. And so in reality, what I was getting back in terms of who I was becoming by wrestling with that type of training and that effort, and then all the benefits that it would give me and the joy as well, because I love being in the gym, far outweighed any of the negative impact or cost of continuing that training. And so those 2 things helped me discern that it was maybe a good thing to just continue, to just push a little bit further. And I'm really glad I did, because right after I made that decision, in about maybe it was a 2 to 3 month period, things started changing for me. And my squat, for example, just felt like it unlocked, and that I could now have 225, which was a dream of mine, be part of my working sets. So before 225, I'd hit it here and there, but it was something I'd have to work up to and psych myself up for, and sometimes would be scary. And this time around, being able to have 225 as a working set or several working sets made me feel like, well, I've just unlocked another level of strength that will be coming as I lift this heavy for several sets and lots of reps. And it has been very exciting to be able to enjoy that at this time. So I'm curious to know, how do you discern when it's time to continue to persist towards a goal or when it's time to abandon a goal? Thank you for this time with me. I'm Dr. Miranda Walichowski at Human Architects. Until the next one, bye now.